Hey, welcome to Luxury in Moderation, where we appreciate the finer things in life without going overboard. Today I'm going to do a review of my Pochette Metis in the Empreinte turtle shell color. And I know there's a lot of reviews on the Pochette Metis out there. My take is going to be very practical and functional. So I'm going to talk about pros and cons. I've had the bag for a little bit over a year now and used it quite a lot. So there's certainly things I love about it and other things that I don't love as much. If you're interested in purchasing an Empreinte Pochette Metis, make sure to keep on watching. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Joanne and every week I upload videos about luxury handbags and other luxury lifestyle products. So if you like this kind of content, please make sure to like this video and subscribe below.
And don't forget to enter my jewelry box giveaway right now.
Let's start with the pros of the Empreinte Pochette Metis. First of all, I specifically love the color of this particular Pochette Metis. I think the canvas is a little too loud for me right now. I'm not really into like the overly logoed look, and that's why I really didn't consider the regular canvas or reverse canvas. Instead, I was really focused on the Empreinte options, and there's a black Turtledove and a blue one with red glazing. I don't know why LV does this, first of all, but all of their blue Empreinte options have the red glazing or like red accents, and I love navy blue, but I really hate the contrasting red. I know that LV does that for style purposes, but I wish they didn't do that, because otherwise I would go straight to all of the blue Empreinte pieces and buy them all because I absolutely love it except for the red. I'm very happy that I chose the Turtledove color because I think it's an all-season color. The black one is, yes, another neutral, but I think it's a little bit too formal. Yes, you might be able to dress it up a little bit more, but I think you can dress this color up just fine. Especially, I'm thinking about getting a twilly or another silk scarf to tie around the handle just to make it a little bit cuter and dressed up. And again, I've had this bag since 2 winters ago, and I wore it a lot during the winter, and I also wore it a lot during the summer. It's a wonderful color. It's a wonderful neutral. It goes with like black and white if you're wearing a big winter coat, or if you're wearing a nice summer dress. It doesn't clash with any florals or prints or white dresses. I love the color. The second pro is that I love the size of it. I love that it is a very slim profile, and yet it can fit so much. Now, a con that I will mention right now is that the dividers that make the bag into 3 separate sections does limit the capacity a little bit, because of course it does split up the space. However, the middle and front compartment are still quite large and can still fit quite a few things. If you saw my like what fits in what bag video, I was very surprised that I could even fit a water bottle into this middle section. So that was really wonderful to see. The last pro is that I think the strap length is very versatile. I'm about 5'4" and I have it on the shortest setting out of 7. But sometimes I do have it on the second shortest setting because I like it to sit a little bit lower. And I already find that very comfortable for me. And then if you're taller than me, then you have a lot more length to work with. So I do appreciate that it works very well for my size. Now let's get into the cons, which unfortunately my con list is a little bit longer than the pro list. The very first and most prominent con that I have for this bag is that it is heavy. Now, of course, that is because I did get this in the leather. I think if I got it in the canvas, it would be much lighter. But as I mentioned, I was really looking for it in the leather patterns. And even though I think Empreinte leather is beautiful, it is thick because it is good quality. And that thickness adds a lot of weight to the entire bags. And I can really feel that weight whenever I'm using this bag. Oftentimes when I carry it out, it's not completely full. It's usually half full. I have my essentials like wallet, keys, hand sanitizer, some tissue, and maybe like a tiny other bag with my chapstick in it. But even with it half empty, after an hour or 2 walking around on it, whether it's on my shoulder or crossbody, I can really feel the bag digging into my shoulders. Part of the reason is because the strap is so thin, and I know that if I had a thicker strap or maybe like a shoulder piece here, that it wouldn't feel as uncomfortable. However, it just really surprised me that I really started to notice the weight of the bag just after 2 hours of use in the summer. In the winter with a big heavy coat on, I don't think I felt it as much because the coat wasn't digging into my shoulder as much. But that's just something that I can't forget as I'm using the bag, and it just makes it a little bit uncomfortable almost every time.
It's so uncomfortable that it really turned me off from considering any other Empreinte leather bag. For example, I really had my eye on the Neverfull in an Empreinte leather because I thought it was so beautiful. I really think the leather is gorgeous, but I just knew that it was going to be way too heavy for me. And it really sucks because Louis Vuitton is coming out with so many bags in leather now. They're really focusing on their leather lines. A lot of their styles are so beautiful in this Empreinte leather, but I just know that I don't want any other Empreinte leather bag now, unless it comes with a nylon strap, which is quite thick and very comfortable. That would be the only way I would consider getting another Empreinte bag.
The next con that I already mentioned are the dividers, and I don't know if I needed them. I get that people like organization, but I feel like this last divider back here is pretty useless. I mean, you can't put anything of width back here because it's more like a slip pocket than an actual divider. You can put like an envelope, a piece of paper, some very flat things, but I don't think I would put anything even as thick as my mini wallet that I use because, it's, first of all, it's just not convenient to like reach all the way back there in such a tiny space. And you can already see that it is pushing out the divider. It's not really meant to, hold anything that's wider. As for the other divider in front here, I felt like it was a little bit strange that they put the biggest compartment in the middle, whereas usually I would want the biggest compartment in the front because that's where I put most of my things that I would want to access during the day. And then maybe if I wanted, some other small pocket, like that could go in the back more towards. But now I just feel like it's kind of reversed. I don't think it was really necessary to put two or even one divider in this bag because I would have liked to put things that were maybe bigger, bulkier versus needing that organizational aspect of it. Then finally, the last con that I have is the bag's not the most easy to use. A lot of people are worried about the S lock here to open and close it. Yes, it can be finicky. I try not to focus too much on that. I try to just work with the bag because sometimes even if I push for the lock to be unlocked, you still need the hook here on the top side to be angled correctly in order to actually like open it. A lot of times I've actually just left the bag unlocked and just the flap comes over enough so that I feel like my items are still secure while it's on my body. I do have protectors on the metal because for sure the lock will scratch on this big metal piece. So I'll link below where I bought my protectors. Let's put it this way. On a scale 1 to 10 of this being easy or difficult to clasp and unclasp and use, I think that it is a 3. So it's not super difficult. It's still quite smooth, but it's not a 0 or a 1. It's not as smooth as the Chanel CC turn lock that is, just always working and never gives me issues. So sometimes I do have to like fiddle with the angle of this to actually unlock it. The other thing of functionally using this bag is that I feel I do need to have 2 hands to actually get in and out of the bag. By that I mean I can easily unlock and lock the bag with 1 hand. So if it's on my body and let's say I have something in this hand, I'm holding a coffee, I can just use this 1 hand and unlock the bag like this. But then I actually need another hand to hold this flap up while I'm digging in the bag to find my things, right? Otherwise, it's like, if I don't have this hand, then like, how am I gonna actually reach in it? I still need some support somehow to actually hold this flap up to use it. Now, this is the case with all flap bags. This is the case with my Chanel classic flaps as well, which is another flap bag. I always feel like I need two hands, one to open it and one to actually like grab my things. But it would be much nicer if I only had to use one hand. And that is the reason why I don't usually love flap bags in general. Something like the Hermes Evelyn, where there's no zip on top and it's just open, is of course much easier to use with just one hand. And that's obviously a trade-off that every person has to make. But that's just something that I noticed when I was using this bag, is that I could easily open it with one hand, but still needed my other hand to actually functionally grab something. So those are my pros and cons of the Pochette Metis and the Empreinte Turtledove bag. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. I would love to answer anything for you. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!